Welcome back guys. So in this tutorial we will be learning about a very powerful tool known as Wireshark. Mostly this tool is used in forensics and it is used for network packet sniffing. Okay. So let's directly use the tool and see how does it work. Let us do one thing. First let us become root and now type Wireshark. Okay, so now what we'll do, so these are all the interfaces that we can sniff packets for. So we currently have to click on ETH0. Why? Because if we do ifconfig, here our interface is ETH0. Okay, so whatever traffic will go through this. Let's double click this and it has already been started. Now if we open Firefox, so open this site testphp.vulnerweb.com. It is basically a practice site, okay, and you can practice XSS, broken access control and other kind of attacks over here. So it is really good for practice. It gives you a feeling of a live website, and as a beginner it is very important for you to practice. The more you practice, the more you will become better at it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. You are not logged on, click on login page. Okay, now whatever clicks we did over here, Wireshark captured everything. Okay, this is the data that Wireshark is capturing. So it has the timestamp that at first this packet was sent, second was this. We have the serial number also, source IP and the destination IP, which protocol was being used, what was the length of the packet, and some other information, whatever is there about the packet. So if we click this thing, we will get more details over here. Okay, so this is the transmission control protocol. Here we have the internet protocol, Ethernet, frame. So basically all the details about the packets are given here. Now to understand that what does each thing mean, we have to have a really good knowledge about networking. Okay, however, at the moment we are learning about this tool, so it is fine if you don't know about it. Generally, people learn about all these things when they are doing their degrees in computer science during their college. So most of the people learn about these things then. Okay, so if we click any packet, right click on it, we get a lot of options. Okay, and when will we use Wireshark mostly? Generally when there are CTF competitions. CTF is basically capture the flag. So whenever there is a PCAP file, the extension of the network packet file is PCAP file, and whenever we have that file, your first thought should be that we have to use Wireshark. Okay, so what you have to do then, if you have a PCAP file, simply click on file, click on open and open that PCAP file. It will open similar to such thing. Now the next thing that comes is you need to know certain filters. So what are filters? There is a lot of packets. How will you separate the packet that you want? For example, I need the packets which have source as this particular IP. Okay, I don't need this .2.1. So what I'll do, IP.src, give double equal to sign and give the IP 192.168.223.130. Okay, and hit enter. So this is a filter that shows the IP source is this. Only the packets which are having source IP as this particular IP will be visible. Okay. Similarly, there is another filter which is IP.dst. And there are a lot. If you see, if I backspace this, there are a lot of filters. You can try these, but I am telling you the main ones that are used. We give DST equal to this and we get all the packets which have the destination IP as this particular IP. Okay, great. So now let us say we remove this filter, we press enter again so that all the packets are visible. Now next, if you want, let us say we want this particular IP either in the source or in the destination, but we don't want any other IP apart from this. So what we can do, IP.addr equal to and give this IP. Okay, so what it will do, whether in source or in destination, if it finds this particular IP address, it will show you. So in the source we have 130, in the destination we have 130. Okay, so we will be getting only those packets. This was about filters. Now comes the next thing. Let's restart this. Click continue without saving. So it will start capturing the packets again. Now let us say I log in over here as admin and admin. I gave wrong credentials right now. Let's click on login. Okay. The correct credentials are test and test, but I just for demonstration purpose gave admin. Now there are a lot of TCP requests. What we can do, right click, go to follow and follow TCP stream. So if any data would be present here, you would be able to see here, but clearly here no data is here. So let's leave this. Click on, so I just changed 0 to 1 here. Earlier it was 0. I changed it to 1. So we can see that there is an HTTP request also going over here. We can right click, follow TCP stream again, and we have the data this time. Okay, we are able to see admin. That means it is very important for a website to have HTTPS. Since this website doesn't have HTTPS, that means anyone who is sniffing on your network can easily get your credentials and steal them. So what you can do, you can start one Windows machine also side by side. Remember, both the machines shall be on NAT. The adapter should be same, okay? And after that, start Wireshark on Kali machine and open this particular URL on Windows machine, okay? And then enter the credentials on Windows machine. So you will be able to see how the attacker is able to sniff the packets and get these details. So when you will be experiencing capture the flags online, so since this is the beginning of a journey, so it is possible that you might not have participated in CTFs, but whenever you will participate, it is a high chance that beginner level CTFs has these kind of challenges where username and password is visible and probably they hide some information over here. Okay, now what would it look like if we have an HTTPS? So all this data will be scrambled and we will not be able to understand anything. That is why HTTPS is very important. So let's try that. I will show you that also. Let's restart this. Okay, let's go to google.com. Let's try signing in. new123@gmail.com. Let's give anything. Okay, let's give password and click next. So if we see over here this time, let's clear this filter and hit enter. This has some application data. Let's follow TCP stream. Now you can see how the data is being scrambled over here. So this is because of HTTPS. We cannot understand anything. Even if I change this 14 to 13 and view another stream, right click, follow, TCP stream, everything is scrambled and I am not able to understand anything. This is because of HTTPS. That is why it is said that every website should use HTTPS. Also, you can try certain other things also in filters. You can simply type as DNS and hit enter. So you will observe all DNS protocols only. Similarly, if you have to give ARP, then hit ARP. Since there is no ARP packets over here, so that's fine. So this works like this, okay? Majority of the time you will be following TCP stream, UDP stream, whatever it is. So when you are beginning with Wireshark, the important thing is that you at least know these basic filters that I taught you and you know how to analyze a packet. Here whatever we are seeing, this thing is hexadecimal. So these are some complex details about the packet. For this you need to have a proper knowledge of networking. But I think now you will be able to use Wireshark. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Make sure to experiment with this tool.